favorite scary movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
We are on the home straight, people. Welcome to Uncensored Horror. It's time to hit the freeway, like Tony Braxton said once upon a time. Well, not really the freeway. Hit the track that goes round, 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 round.
We're getting into my territory.
Round. That's right. Uncensored Horror is continuing the track to Final Destination Bloodlines release. We are past the midway point now. We are at the Final Destination?
The Final Destination.
Question mark?
Question mark?
Yeah, look. Interesting. The Final Destination. We've dropped away with the as we have said, there's certain points where sequels drop away with numbers because they feel it taints their legacy, etc. Interesting that they chose this film that they thought was going to be a lot, the one to step above the rest.
This was going to be it. Oh,
Yeah.
But wait, Steve, was this the one where they want to do 3D?
We have finally hit the 3D quotient of the franchise, which is usually the low point.
Even Friday the 13th, for you to keep part 3 in 3D.
We will discuss. Lieutenant Ripley even knows that there's some bugs that need squashing, so she is here with us.
She's off to save the world.
She's off to save the world. 2009, this was. 3 years after Final Destination 3.
Was this how long ago this was?
2009, and you can definitely tell when it comes to the special effects. But that's okay. Now, Final Destination 3 was a commercial success despite middling reviews. So a fourth film entered development and planned in 3D. As Katie mentioned in the last review, Final Destination 3 was intended to be the 3D movie, but the cost of the conversion at the time was deemed too much, so they moved forward. Now, when New Line greenlit this fourth installment, it's interesting because James Wong was on board to direct. But, and it's a big but, it's a but that's going to probably wipe its dirtiness all over this film. Because of scheduling conflicts, he had to drop out. Consequently, the studio execs opted for David R. Ellis to return because of his work on Final Destination 2.
Oh.
So it was
Say no more.
A lot.
Say no more.
So, without much further ado, we are going to get into pole position and hit the track for our review of The Final Destination, aka Final Destination 4. If you have not seen this movie, you're very lucky. I mean, please pause and watch it and come back and commiserate with us later. At least we are moved out of high school at this point.
Yeah.
We are college students now. I have noticed a trend here. The odd number movies are the good ones.
Better ones.
Well,
I wouldn't call 3 good.
Well,
compared to this,
by the time we get to the end of this, let's see if you still have the same feeling. So, college student Nick O'Bannon watches an auto race with his girlfriend Laurie and their friends Hunt and Janet at the McKinley Speedway. McKinley, see? Nice little tie to the last one. During their semester break, Nick has a premonition, a very accurate premonition, of an accident at the racetrack that sends debris into the grandstand, causing cataclysmic events. When Nick comes to, panics, a scuffle breaks out, Several spectators are forced to leave, including Laurie, Hunt, Janet, racist tow truck driver Carter, Mum Samantha, mechanic Andy, his girlfriend Nadia, and security guard George.
That's very much like the first one. Let's have a fight and everyone leaves.
Yeah.
It's what happens in every movie.
Well, they
Pretty
didn't have a fight in the second one.
She causes it. She
causes a conflict.
She causes conflict.
Let's not call it a fight. The protagonist causes a conflict to stall what's going to eventually happen anyways. That's the recipe for this movie.
The one thing I will give this movie, we don't fuck around with, any kinds of exposition. We just get straight into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, we're going. We don't care. We don't care for any depth for any of these people. Let's get into the carnage and gore. Now, the one thing that shits me more than anything else is when they make a 3D movie but don't give it a 2D option.
Yeah, you could tell watching this.
The effects in this movie are atrocious.
Bad.
Atrocious. Like, they don't even look like they're on the set. That looks like some of it is in front of green screens. Like, that's how bad it is.
I think it was bad.
But for a movie in 2009 to be this bad, it was like, it wasn't.
Well, that's what I was just saying before. Like, Friday 3 was, 1983, the year I was born?
Yeah, for its time. Yeah, cool. They're trying something.
And, you can tell when they were trying to use the 3D effects in the 2D version, but it doesn't take you completely out like this one did. Yeah. Like,
just the car parts flying never look real. When they make impact with the characters, it doesn't look real. The things collapsing don't look real. Right? None of it gives me any sense of reality. I think that's the problem, because so far in this franchise, the successful entries / deaths have had practical effects leading up to them. We see Death's plan coming to fruition, and we question what inanimate object is going to kill this person, or what series of events of inanimate objects are going to kill this person. We kind of gave that away totally with this one. It's just like, what can we make happen, and how blatantly obvious can we make the clues in the premonitions and make them 3D? I was like, oh.
Agreed.
Awkward. But there is one more highlight of this movie. I love the title sequence, because the title sequence was all the X-rays of all the deaths of the franchise.
That was pretty cool. It was fun with the apprentice to pick which movies that the scene was from.
Yeah, right. You're like, oh, that's the ladder through the eye. Oh, that's this one. Oh, there's the nail gun. Oh, there's that. And it was really cool. I thought that was a different way of doing it. That was super
they spent
cool.
all their money on the title.
Yeah, I feel like that's maybe where the money went, because it certainly didn't go on hiring actors. All these people.
Are any of these people still working?
The only one that I kind of know is like Bobby Campo. I know that he's been in other stuff. That Chantel Van Zetten is the female lead. He's hideous.
Did you notice that this is the only movie in which Tony Todd is not involved with at all?
Yeah, I think maybe Tony even smelt the stank of hideousness.
Well, look, before we actually hit record, I was just saying to Steve, I actually watched this one like a month ago. I can't remember much of it.
I watched it last night and I don't remember much.
Yeah, like it's just like one of those like, okay, was I on my phone during it? Like I try never to do that when we're doing our little projects and that, but I'm like, I can't remember.
Nick Zano is still working.
Oh, is he Hunt? Is
Who
he
else
the
did
like the buff the guy Hunt?
Oh,
that guy.
he is. Yeah, he's Hunt.
Yeah, I've seen him in other stuff. He's like generic blonde hottie. Right.
Yep, basically.
So my big problem was like just even the random wheel taking out Nadia was not that exciting. Like
I don't know.
it just
I thought that was pretty fun.
I know, I'm just like, but it didn't look real. Like that's my problem. It didn't look real. Like if we're gonna be in a real environment, you know, like the roller coaster, I understand the need for CGI on a roller coaster because it's very hard to film something like that. You know, especially to film and imagine a roller coaster accident. It's not something you can repeat time and time again. These are just random cars. You can film a wheel flying through the air. It's not rocket science. But we just went all CGI, all 3D, and it's just like, okay.
But I think that's the thing with 3D movies is you're meant to make them extra exaggerated. They're not supposed to look super real. And that's kind of what's supposed to be fun about them. Like one 3D movie that really stands out to me is the Piranha movies. Like
Yeah.
those are
but they were going for comedy though.
I know they were going for camp, but I almost feel like this one was leaning into the camp a little harder because it was in 3D.
Possibly, and like, look, as I mentioned earlier, Friday 3 was leaning into camp a lot more, but they still kept all their effects practical. Like they did not. There was no CGI.
But are they keeping it practical because that's what was available to them at the time? Or
possibly,
was it
like but it
move?
probably worked better. Like,
yeah, does that leads us to, you know, the age-old discussion of practical versus visual effects.
Listen, you guys know that I am a practical girl. I love practical effects. I think they look better on screen. I think they come off better in general. I think it keeps you in the movie a lot more than staring at something that's clearly CGI and going, well, they made no effort at all with this. But I think with this one, they were just they realized we're in the fourth installment of this franchise. It's completely out there. Death is not something that is a sentient entity that can chase you. So let's lean into the camp a little bit, especially I think when you're going with something as like with a race car. I know these crashes can happen. They do happen. But I don't know. I thought it was great. I love the outrageous death.
Let's give it the conceit that death is, you know, death has a plan.
I mean, I'm
very confused with these sequels, right? With Flight 180, there were 7 people that got off the plane. Those 7 people died in the order they were supposed to die in, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
Same with the car accident. But other people started to die as well. So is that saying that, especially when it got to here, and it's a large-scale thing with unnamed characters and extras being crushed by falling slabs, are they part of Death's design, or are they just collateral damage? Or,
you know, that's a really good question, honestly.
I think we've lost the true conceit of this, and it makes it really random, and it takes it to that territory that we've been mentioning. It's just a splatter movie now. It's not anything. This one takes it into a completely different territory. Like, because there is no rhyme or reason to what happens. Yeah, they're dying, but there's like 30 other people that died as well. And none of that matters. So why do these characters matter?
This is a good point.
They were just day players. They were just day players.
Right. And they just might be collateral, because if you go back to the first one, right, there's specific ones that are in order, but there's still other people on the plane. Same with the second.
But what I'm saying is they were all intended, all of those people were intended to die. When we're getting here, we're getting extra death. Does that make sense? So, like, I don't know how to put it in a way that makes more sense. So everyone else was intended to die, correct?
Yes.
So a lot of these extra
the
deaths
one way that we've seen it be
sequence.
successful, the one time we've seen it be successful is Final Destination 3, because there were no survivors at all.
Right.
You know? Flight 180, there are no survivors alive now, but AJ Cook's character and the cop are still alive somewhere.
True.
That doesn't make sense.
I mean, they probably should have mentioned, just throw like a newspaper article or something like that, just saying, because I think we're meant to assume they're probably dead.
But in this movie, forgive me if I'm wrong,
Mm-hmm.
in the premonition crash sequence, doesn't that whole family die? The tampon kids, don't they all die?
I thought
they all died.
I think it's just her. I think they were running and she just didn't catch up in time and they got her.
Oh, and she got crushed. That's right. She did, didn't she? Okay, so she was meant to die. Okay, that makes a little more sense.
And I think they're gonna. It's very rare that you would like see a movie just straight up kill the kid.
I think I'm putting too much thought into a movie that probably doesn't require it.
No, it's all right. And this is not the franchise that's gonna kill kids on screen. It's not that hardcore. It's not gonna do it. Teenagers are about this as far as they're gonna go. And granted, they are kids. They're not gonna kill
my huge issue with this movie
by 25-year-olds.
My huge issue with this movie is first of all, the actor that plays Nick's acting ability, and second of all, we've given up on premonitions. We are literally going to show you the things that kill people.
He has premonitions.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not very good premonitions.
They're very specific and in 3D. it's like you should be able to save people if it's going to.
Well, why wouldn't they be?
Death got very lazy. Death got very lazy by the fourth time round. Death even
definitely
like whatever.
think they should have kept the 3D to just like the deaths, like the death scene itself,
it didn't
not
need
the premonition.
it didn't need all of that stuff.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
Or just do it in a better, smarter way.
But we've established that this director specifically does not know how to do it.
Correct. After the track record of part 2.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we're going to start the death process with Carter going to George, the security guard's house, because he blames him for the death of Nadia, and as well as being a filthy racist. I'm going to burn a cross on his lawn. Oh, sorry, Cynthia. His wife was Cynthia. Nadia's the girl that just died. Confusing.
Mm-hmm. It's
okay. I don't really care. Really care.
Right. We don't care about these characters.
I enjoyed this because of the irony of it, and this is, as I said, this is where we start to root for death. A gust of wind dislodges the horseshoe on his tow truck's radio, turning on War's favorite song, Why Can't We Be Friends, causing his truck to drive by itself as the tow chain unravels onto the road. Carter trips, get caught, dragging him down the street as the gas can that has tipped over leaks gas. The sparking chain causes him to ignite, and he is dragged on fire to his death. Probably a really fitting death for someone that's that racist, maybe.
Yeah. That's one of those deaths where it's like, you know what? You deserved it. No one feels bad.
And that's also a little bit of play on like actual like what race
actual events, but the explosion took it probably a bit far. Like, I get it, we're in a 3D movie, but we need the explosion to throw guts at the camera and bits of metal and all that kind of
could only hope that racists die in that horrible of a manner when they are in the middle of a racist act. I could only hope that much, and I maybe shouldn't say that, but I do not wish kind things upon racists. No, not at all.
Now, Samantha, as Hunt says, we lost a really hot MILF today. Samantha's death is probably the biggest prick cheese in this movie because there are so many things that could have killed her. Obviously, the receptionist and the hairdresser being the first two because she comes in that late, ready to
Yeah. Our little apprentice thought that she was going to get scissors through the eye when the chair dropped.
I thought so many and I forgot. I was like, I know it's a rock, but I can't remember how it. I forgot the whole exploding hairspray, slipping. Like, I was like, there is so much that could have done it, and it was the rock that her kids threw, and it just proves that these little, as Jeffrey Emmett says,
fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids, man. They killed their own mother throwing those rocks.
And listen, as a parent, I very much advocate for you to keep your eye on your kids because, you know, one of these days it's going to come back at you. Literally.
Yeah.
Kids do crazy stuff, man. You need to be on them all the time. Be like,
yeah. It's just, I'm just like, whatever. Like, I enjoyed that part of it. All right. The irony is, I enjoyed a lot of the parts of the movie that these two main characters weren't in.
Because they're terrible. They're so bad.
Right? They're not good actors.
No one is.
This is direct to video.
You know what we could have had? We could have had Ashley Tisdale.
They had to spend all the money on the effects, not on the talent.
She auditioned for this. They turned down Ashley Tisdale.
Ashley Tisdale would have been amazing in this movie.
Well, you know, in the third movie, they turned her down too. They turned down Vanessa Hudgens and Ashley Tisdale.
Oh, imagine if they got both of the girls from High School Musical in a Final Destination movie.
Now, was this after? High School Musical was not my thing. Was this during High School Musical or
this
after?
Would have been mid.
Movie?
I think this would have been like midway through the High School Musical domination phase. This would have been them trying to. This would have been them trying to break out of their Disney teen molds. You know.
I mean,
everyone's going to be bad and do a horror movie like the girlies in the 90s did. Like, we've got to do a horror movie to get our sexy cred.
Yeah.
And listen, I think it's a great way to go. And I think she probably would have made the movie more interesting, quite honestly. I like Ashley Tisdale.
Yeah. So this is where I start to have a problem. If I don't already.
Just now?
I thought you weren't happy going in. So
Nick and Laurie, Nick and Laurie, somehow, after hearing about these deaths, which are reported very quickly after them happening.
Quality journalism.
You know, they realize that it's very similar to the way that they would have died at the Speedway, but it is filmed in how he wouldn't know how they died.
But he saw how they died.
But did he see it? So we're to believe that the camera vision of everyone's death in that is premonition. Vision.
Well, why not at this point? Why not?
Well, so the premonition shows how they die, and he can see, like, when he goes back to the camera to, like, watch it.
But the thing is, so, all right, you're telling me, and the directors and the filmmakers are telling me that in his premonition, he can see his experience as well as point of view experience of other people.
Apparently, I think he's seeing it as like a bystander. Like he's like watching.
I might be a dumb. Look, if I'm a dumb bitch, please correct me, people.
You're not a dumb bitch. The way I interpreted it was that he is seeing it as a bystander. Like he
saw it in 3D. It was bad writing, Bobby.
I think it's just really.
The way I interpreted this is that he's seeing it as like a bystander.
I get it.
That's how he sees himself die. It's not the same as Devon Sawa.
But how does he go? But even he says, I can't remember. So how does he remember exactly that she died about something through her eye?
I don't. It's bad writing. It's not.
Thank you.
It's just bad writing.
I'm happy. Bobby. I'm happy to be called a dumb bitch, as I said.
You're not a dumb bitch. You're not a dumb bitch.
It's just like
they're trying to have one way.
Not this.
They're trying to do it one way, but then they don't like.
They don't commit
to make that
to anything. It's like
I think the focus was too much on the effects that the story didn't even need to be coherent.
If he's going to see it that specifically, then he should be able to jump in and interact like Alex did, because Alex was prepared for every eventuation, and his visions are that specific that he should know what's going to kill them and what to avoid, and then. The trick of death, but the trick of death is that it's always something that you don't expect.
Mm-hmm.
So we should see that play out,
right? And he does at the end.
In a good movie.
he is he realizes the specific thing that does it, and he tries to intervene.
Only
too
after
little, too
17
late.
times.
Right,
I'm only showing
right.
17 times. It's like, we get it. It's here.
Right.
Come on.
No, it's just not consistent writing. They're trying to show you one thing, but then going, oh, but maybe it'd be better this way. And
Because if we flash back, I had the same problem with Final Destination 2.
Mm.
They were, the first one was show don't tell. This one's tell and show at the same time. Like if you don't get it, this is what's happening.
Final Destination 2 just tried to put too much into a short period of time. I think if they cut a lot of like the side storylines, that could have been a very good movie. It had potential. This one has no potential. This one is just like, hey, it's 3D. Let's throw some shit at the screen.
Look, the only thing that has in common is that they were in section 180 of the the Speedway.
Yep.
So we get it. Cute. Very cute. Very cute.
Yep, we got it.
So,
we got it.
They go back to the Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, they think that will help him remember.
I think they're trying to jog his memory.
Right, okay. I had clocked out by this point. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, what? Okay.
No, I'd clocked out well before, so I get it. But I'm pretty sure they're just going there just to kind of see if anything can trigger a memory.
So George is there to help them, and they figure out that Andy will be the next one. This is a pretty shit death, actually, for a movie that's gonna be 3D.
Yeah, I didn't.
The carbon dioxide tank launches with, and we get like a little bit of meat. Like that's not that impressive.
Nope.
I can't even remember maybe the blood sprayed out at you when it was 3D. And the thing is, I definitely saw this in 3D.
I saw it in the cinema in 3D.
I do not remember it at all.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
I know I saw it in 3D, but I can't remember whether I had the glasses or whether I'm just like, oh, this probably would have been really cool in the theater.
All right. The only cool part of this movie is about to come up, and it's angst-inducing, to say nothing.
Is this when we go and get something done here?
Nick has a premonition that Laurie... sorry. Wait. Who was... All right. Get me... Nick has a premonition that Janet and Hunt's deaths will involve water.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the car wash scene.
I did too.
I thought that was cool.
I thought it was effective.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And Hunt's death in the pool is like everything your parents tell you not to do. Like, do you remember when you were little and they used to go, don't go near the filter, don't put your hand, don't do that. And you're like, oh, what could happen?
Well, I mean, they tell girls to not keep their hair down, keep their hair up because it gets, caught. But you know what? That's something, right? I mean, and I think his the gratuitous sex scene was just ridiculous.
The sex scene that came out of nowhere. If I'm dying, I'm trying. I'm like, what a fucking douchebag! You deserve everything you get.
Exactly. Ripley agrees with you.
Ripley agrees.
Ripley agrees.
Ellen Ripley hates toxic masculinity just as much as the rest.
She's
of
rolling her eyes at him. She's like,
she's like,
such a douche. Yeah, he's not. She's not into it.
I did feel a lot of angst for Janet because getting her head caught in the sunroof and about to get her face shredded was intense. That was intense. I mean, you always have that feeling when you go through a car wash. You're like, what happens if something went wrong in here? And there's a reason why they are fairly prominent in horror movies.
Reason looks at me. He goes, "Could it? Could your car
stuff
actually fill with water?" It's like, well, maybe, but that's why you keep the sunroof closed.
It's not that much water. Apparently, it saves more water than if you wash it with the hose.
Oh no, I'm just trying to freak him out.
So they manage George and Laurie. At least they do something slightly intelligent here. They split up because in every other movie they stay together, and Death's just like, okay, cool. We're not like Wendy and Kevin in the last movie. Everyone they visit just carks it. At least they split up, and Laurie and George can manage to save Wendy. Wendy, no, Janet. My God, too many names. Franchise too big. Franchise too big. Too many different victims. But Hunt manages to get disemboweled by the drain pipe.
That was pretty cool. I gotta be honest. Just watching his like chest cave or whether his back
it was very thinner, cool. Wasn't it? Very thinner.
It was like, oh, he's done.
Like that's like a what's that called? A colonic from hell.
You ain't kidding.
My thing is, he would have drowned before that.
Yeah, he would have. His body would have relaxed, and it would have been a lot easier too.
He would have drowned. He was struggling for a long time down there.
Mm-hmm.
But they always seem to do that with drownings as well. Like in movies, it takes forever for people to drown.
Yeah. It's like you'd be dead in 1 minute, but they'll do a 5-minute sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we think that, okay, death has skipped one, it's moved to the other. We're kind of okay, safe. Randomly, and 4 days later, there's a revelation that there was a survivor from the Speedway accident. The collapse, and it was randomly the guy with the cowboy hat that moved out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly like Final Destination 2 when these random characters are introduced at the end, and suddenly they have all this importance and prominence in the fucking thing. Again, racism from an old man. I'm like, I've got some questions about the writer of this movie.
Yeah, I think he's got some deep-seated issues.
Some tendencies, maybe.
There's a lot happening.
Yeah. So he's crushed. The poor dude is like fully intubated, 3rd-degree burns, crush fucking injuries, and then gets crushed by a falling bathtub. That's just fucked up. That's not even cruel. That's just fucked. You are shit out of luck. Like, literally.
But this was the movie when they were just going full ham.
It's like, just kill people.
Said. Yeah.
Just kill people.
Fucking throw a bathtub on them.
Yeah.
Don't even have to make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just throw one.
Right. He could have the thing in the first one, it looked like they were legitimate possible accidents, or that Alex had a hand in the deaths. Like there was some sort of insidious nature to it. This is just, I don't know, have something fall on him. It's like Wile E. Coyote shit. We're just giving up any subtlety at this point.
Watching that tub fill, that was already full, by the way.
Yeah.
It was already full. And he just walks away, and I'm just like, number one, they would never leave a patient alone in that harness, because that's a lawsuit right there.
That's a fractured hip and a lawsuit.
Yeah. So that was totally unreal. It's totally unreal that it would overflow. And for the ceiling to give out like that so quickly, it's just like,
yeah, that hospital has the budget of the hospital in part 2, with the one ambulance.
Yeah, it's like
or that hospital.
Was on its way out anyway. It was on its way out anyway.
We've got 2 staff on tonight, and they're not even on duty.
This is America's healthcare system, people.
This is a mess about American healthcare.
Our paper mache ceilings can't handle the water.
Yep.
It's not okay.
Absolutely.
So Nick has another one of his very obvious premonitions, I guess, kind of, that Laurie is going to die in the mall with Janet. Explosion.
Janet.
Like super, super specific. George get hit. I'm kind of over the like supposed to be jump scare of being hit by a car / bus / ambulance in this franchise.
I missed George's dad because
he got hit by an ambulance. Like,
I missed it. I completely missed it. And I looked at Grace and I said, "Where's George?" And he goes, "He just got hit by an ambulance." Like, what?
Yeah, I'm like,
When?
that would have been fine, but it didn't have the impact that it had in the first movie.
Right, like
Right?
you just kind of-
Literal impact.
you just kind of pushed him out of the way and he got hit, and like this is supposed to be one of your like protagonists at this point, and you blink and you missed it.
Yeah. They wanted to get to this shopping mall scene. For sure. They wanted to get to this shopping mall scene that, you know, we have the fake out. This is like, all right, so this is also my thing, right? You're telling me that if these people had died originally, are we saying that all of these people in the theater that are now at least horribly burnt would never have been injured?
But also,
so really, if you survive Death's Plan, you are causing a massive ripple effect that's going to lead to other people being at the very least horribly burnt. I think a more interesting storyline would be somebody going, what are the repercussions of me being alive?
Well, have you ever
if someone
heard
else
of the
has to
term
take my
jump
place?
the shark?
Yes, I have, and I know I'm thinking too much about a bad movie. I
but
know
also, if they're supposed to die in the way that they would have died then, how would she? Because she was burned in the original premonition, right?
Yeah.
Getting tore up by an escalator doesn't really
wasn't
equate.
the same thing, right?
Doesn't equate. So yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Same with George.
Make it make sense.
Yeah. Same with George. He
Because
got burned.
George got burnt, and then he got hit by by a fucking ambulance.
Well, what happened to the blonde chick in the first one though? Was she like taken out by something, or was she?
I can't remember.
She got hit by a bus.
They got crushed. And again.
No, you're talking about Terry in part one, right?
Oh, in part one, I don't remember.
Terry, they just died. See, it wasn't as specific. They all just died.
They just died.
And the fact that it wasn't they weren't about dying the way they died in the accident. Death was just after them, and it could come at them in any way. What these movies are telling us in succession is that they will die specifically the way they were supposed to die. But in this one, that's not true.
Right, because then the racist would have got like sliced in half.
Make it make sense, Elaine.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, no, this is
bad writing.
Let's just end this movie. Let's just
get to the end. Let's give it a rating. What's the ending? What's the ending to this?
Old mate gets a wrist piercing. That was upsetting. When he got nail gunned to the wall.
Yeah.
So stigmatized a little bit.
So it turns out the escalator death was another premonition. So he's had two of these major premonitions, and he races to them all to try to save them. He gets sidetracked with a nail gun because they like the nail guns apparently, but then apparently he saves the day.
But then the premonition. So there's a double premonition now, but which is fine because Alex had a premonition after Death jumped everyone too.
Yep.
But it still led to his death, and it wasn't a completely different premonition.
No, it was well done. This one was right? This one's just kind of sloppy. Like, oh crap, how can we like?
So long story short, they survived that. Laurie, Janet, and Nick meet in the cafe, and then Nick starts having premonitions again and realizes the events since the Speedway were orchestrated to bring them to this moment. As the loose scaffolding across the road collapses, forcing a truck to swerve, crashing into the cafe, killing all three.
Cue, cool end sequence.
Yeah. It's... Wait.
I know.
So...
I know, Ripley. I know.
That is then telling me that all three of those people were supposed to be crushed by a car when that wasn't their fate at all in the original premonition.
Yeah, I don't know. And that's the movie. We're done. We finished it. We got through it. Thank God.
Thank God.
We are done.
Come on, Steve. Do the ratings.
I'm nearly done. I give this a fucking 1. This is horrendous. The acting is bad. The special effects are horrible. The plot doesn't make sense. And do you want a shocker?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Give it
This
to
is
us.
the highest earning entry in the franchise.
Yeah, because it was 3D.
This is
Everyone
because
was
it had,
crazy
it
for
had to be
3D.
because of the 3D.
It was 100% because of the 3D.
Yeah.
$187 million this movie made on a $40 million budget.
All
But
due
I
to the
guess
3D.
this is also the reason why there wasn't another one until 2011.
Mhm.
I mean, like, but that's quicker. You know, everything else was 3 years. This was the Final Destination.
It got greenlit
I
quick.
remember the conversation being that this was going to be the last movie.
And that's probably why
Wow.
it's so bad. They just kind of want to put the nail in the coffin.
It's like
Quite literally.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think this is a turn. As I said earlier, I think that this movie franchise is one of the ones where the odd number movies are the good ones. And from what I remember of Final Destination 5, it is a massive step up from this. So I have it's a 1.
Wait, what's
One
our
tire.
rating scale here? One tire. I was gonna
one
say,
tire
what do
to
we-
the head. One tire to the head.
Look, I'm going to
Luke?
give it 1 tire as well, and I don't feel I need to say anything much more than Steve did. I completely concur. It was just a shit stamp pile. Like, it was, there was some cool effects, but it was all really bad. If you didn't see it in 3D, it's even worse.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know why you would have wanted to see it in 2D.
yeah.
Yeah,
Katie?
you've said all you need to say. It's 1. It's not to mention, and we didn't even touch on this. If you remember correctly, that McKinley is supposed to be in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Why are there palm trees in Pennsylvania?
Why not?
Tropical Pennsylvania.
Why not?
We
At this point, why not?
Continuity-
Is that really the
continuity went out the window. We're just like, fuck it, let's just get this done. I got better things to do, apparently. The 3D was a fun idea, and 3D movies tend to be a lot of fun, especially 3D horror movies, because they're meant to be like campy, have a good time. For an example, a great 3D horror movie that I didn't mention was My Bloody Valentine. That was a hell of a lot of fun.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
Hey, Todd.
And the 2D version doesn't suck.
Right.
Yeah. Because
the
effects
and the
are
Piranha
practical.
movies. The Piranha movie was also a lot of fun in 3D.
Even that not Final Destination, even the Resident Evil movie that was 3D doesn't suck like this sucks.
No, it's
Yeah. This relied solely on the 3D gimmick, and
did.
if you couldn't watch it in the 3D, then you're getting even less than a 1 star or 1 tire experience.
And we go into campy movies knowing that this is not going to be an Oscar winner. We know that we're meant to have a good time. It's supposed to be outrageous and silly. But this one, like, if you're going to lean into the camp, lean into it. Lean hard.
Look, as a palate cleanser, people, the final trailer for Final Destination Bloodlines has just come out. They are doing something different with the formula, which will be interesting to see because it's giving it away in the title. It's about a bloodline of people being cursed by death because of a death that didn't happen. Generations of family members are going to be exterminated in horrible ways. And Luke and I just watched it before we came on. It's giving. The trailer's giving. So I'm interested to see what happens. If you have hope that Final Destination's Bloodlines will live up to the hype, let's see. It will be an even-numbered sequel. So.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm looking forward to talking about 5 because
I
thought it was very interesting the way they brought it together. I thought it was great. So I'm looking forward to discussing this. I'm curious how everyone else will feel about 4 and looking forward to 5 as I am.
That's all right. 5 is a bridge too far at the moment, but we will cross that bridge when we come to it in a week's time. So thank you for joining us for Final Destination. We are almost there, kids. We are almost there. So thank you, Katie. Thank you, Luke. I'm gonna say this is what you get for going to watch speedway races anyway. So
don't eat other people's yum, bub.
Listen, as someone who spends a lot of summers working at a speedway, no, I endorse his message.
Duck and cover, bitches. We'll see you next time.